Good day, everybody. Welcome. My name is Joe Filiameni from KLT Wealth Management. Today, I'm joined with my team members, Brad Wilson and Courtney Beach. Hi,
Hello.
Brad. Hi, Courtney.
Hello.
As you can see, we're doing a Zoom meeting here, trying to keep up with the social distancing. We are certainly, as they say, in unprecedented times right now. What we thought we would do is give you a bit of a mid-year review, let you know sort of what's happened up until now, what's currently happened, and give you some sort of view for the future here, especially from an investment point of view. So if I can start a little bit in terms of where we've come from, certainly it has been an interesting half year. Started off in January and kind of mid-February with sort of normal sort of earnings in the market and whatnot. But then, of course, the COVID-19 virus hit,
Mhm.
and we pretty much shut down the global economy. So it was sort of unprecedented in that this is the first time that it wasn't we actually shut it down by closing down businesses and whatnot. So it was a forced sort of shut down by us, and I think that's important. It was a method in order to sort of control the virus, and that seems to have worked. But of course, that has impacted the economy. We definitely saw a drop in our markets. You would have saw a drop on your investments. March 23rd was recorded as sort of the lowest point, a drop like in around minus 30, 35% in the markets. From that point, we went up. Government jumped right in, just like they did in 2008, but much quicker, much stronger. They threw a lot. They call it the bazooka effect. They threw all kinds of money into the markets, and that has really stimulated the markets. And we did see a sharp increase into the market since March 23rd. And we continue to see those sharp upturns, which is nice to see. And I'm sure you'll be happy when you look at your investments at the end of June and comparing them to the end of March, that they'll be certainly up from that point. Brad, maybe you can share a little bit in terms of what's happening today.
Yeah, for sure. And as you said, Joe, we've seen a nice rebound in the markets, and the S&P 500 from that low point in March is now only currently down 3.5% year to date. So we have seen a great trend, and that has been powered by certain sectors, especially tech. As we sit here on a Zoom call today doing this mid-year review, it really shows, what has powered the economy through and the markets in these times. So the markets currently have already priced in a lot of the concern when it comes to the coronavirus. They are forward-looking, and so the markets right now have stayed strong. We have seen some minor corrections in the recent weeks of a couple percentages, just with the coronavirus cases and the reopening of the economy. So with that, we are starting to see more people in the streets now, more people getting back to work, salons reopening, restaurant patios reopening. And so that's happening in phases. In Canada, it's happened definitely a little bit slower than the United States, which, as we are seeing now, a large outbreak more recently in the US. So there's some growing concern there, but as of the current conditions, the markets have rebounded nicely and are sitting well. And I think it's really important to take a look at the future outlook and what kind of holds for the markets and the economy, and what things that we should watch. So Courtney, I think it would be great to touch on that.
Yes, there's a lot of things that are upcoming. The first thing is with the November elections in the States, what is that going to look like? The Democrats and Joe Biden are leading in the polls, but are they going to win the Senate and the House as well? And what is that going to mean for laws and rules that they put in place to re-stimulate the economy after the coronavirus? As you were saying, Brad, the coronavirus is rampant pretty much in the States right now, and some of the states are rolling back their reopenings. So it's not looking too good for opening the economy. How long is it going to take to reopen their economies? That's going to be interesting to see. And as well, because of the coronavirus, a lot of countries, including Canada, are questioning their supply chains and whether they should be more local. They should stop maybe getting some of their parts and services from overseas. Is that really going to be something that they can do without raising prices? And as well, China has just put in a new law in Hong Kong, and a lot of the nations, the States, Canada, and Europe, are talking sanctions against China. So what is that going to look for trade? What is that going to look for the economy?
Yeah. So yeah, certainly interesting times. I think the key points to takeaway points as an investor is that, and we get a lot of these questions too from our clients, is look at the current economy and all the businesses that are shut down or even like closing up because they won't reopen. And yet then the markets, there seems to be a disconnect with the markets because the markets seem to be going up. So what you got to keep in mind as an investor is, as exactly what Brad said, is that the markets are forward looking. And so the markets have priced in a lot of this bad news that we're starting to hear now. So, but the market is always already looking to the end of the year and possibly looking, as Courtney says, into the US election and how that's going to impact sort of the general economy and the general world as well. So, I think a key point is staying invested, to have conversations with your financial advisor if you do have sort of concerns. Keeping a well-diversified, balanced portfolio, I think, is very, very important. Taking advantage of the opportunity too. With a lot of the sell-off, I think there's often advantages to get into the markets and stuff. So, any other comments from either one of you guys moving forward?
I think one of the big things, and you hit it on the head, Joe, is staying invested and keeping diversified. And there's lots of information out there, so it's a good opportunity to take in some information that's going on, and hopefully these sort of little update videos from people like us can help you with your decision making. I also do want to note that we do have a podcast that we record bi-weekly, and we actually provide monthly updates similar to this, where we dive a bit deeper for about 20 to 30 minutes into the conditions. So if you haven't yet, go check out Building Wealth on the Go, our podcast, for a bit more details on updates like this with the markets.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. So maybe we'll close it off at that point. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Courtney. You guys take care of yourselves. Everybody out there, we wish you well from KLT. We want you to stay safe and avoid the wave. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.